Okay, here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to another video, and once again, we're back with the reverse Hotlaps series. Today, I thought, we'd take it up a notch from the TCR car. We're going to be jumping into the Lotus 79, and we're going to be seeing if I can do a lap in reverse around circuit Gilles-Villnueve. Now, for those of you who didn't see the first episode of this series, essentially what we do is I come to the end of a lap, we're going to flick it in reverse, and we're essentially going to do a lap the right way, but driving backwards. So let me just climb over this curb a bit. Let's not get stuck. And let's go for a backwards lap of the circuit Gilles-Villeneuve circuit. Now, the best way to watch this video is to either look at my two mirrors on the left and right, or you can look up in the V mirror up there. Obviously, I can't look behind me, but that's where I'm going to be looking as we cross the line down towards turn 1. Now, it's all going to be essentially flipped backwards. So right becomes left, left becomes right. Down into turn 1, it's a nice line through there. Into turn 2, can I clip that apex? Or, for the most part, I can. And then we're going to floor it out. We're going to rev out at 85 kilometers an hour. Is going to be the top speed on this 79 as we head down to the chicane for the first time. Turn 3 and 4. Little bit of brakes just so I know where I'm going. Make sure we get it turned in and perfectly through the chicane there. That, I don't think, could have been any better. We're going to rev it out. Only thing is, I'm concerned with a car like this, a car being so old, I'm worried that if I keep it on the limiter for too long, I'm going to blow the engine. So I'm just going to have to manage that throttle as we hit the right-hander, which is a left-hander, but it's one of the ways around, I can't remember. Through we go, getting on that curb as well, so it's a perfect line. And then swinging out to the exit, not quite getting on that curb, but it doesn't really matter because we're going so slow. We are getting very hot oil temperatures, and I'm just going to have to back off the pace a bit because, I'm actually at risk of blowing the engine, just as I thought I would. Water temps are okay, they're at 73 degrees, but that oil temperature is at 144 degrees Celsius, which is no bueno. As we head into the left-hander, well, it's a left-hander for us, it would be a right-hander normally. Through we go, and that was fairly nice as we head up towards the hairpin, the Robert Kubica corner, I like to call it, because that's where he absolutely died. As oh, I've left the track a bit there. We're going to get an X, but that's okay. I was looking at my dash there to see the temperature, but I'm very concerned about this oil temp now. As we head into the hairpin complex, got a few stadiums around. No, I'm going to leave the track again. We're okay. Down into the hairpin. This is going to be a good chance for me to lift off the power and try and cool this engine down a bit. As accelerating up to 85 kilometers an hour again. 149 degrees Celsius, 150 degrees now on the oil temp. Oh, there it goes. That actually, wow, that scared the shit out of me. And am I going to be able to get it back to the line? Or am I going to have to... Is this going to be a failure? Come on. Obviously, I don't have any acceleration. I'm going to put it in neutral. And I'm just going to see if I can roll it back to the line. Can I roll it back to the line? No? Yes? No? Oh, 3 kilometers an hour. It might be doable. Come on. This might take a while. But it is not stopping at the moment. 2 kilometers an hour now. I don't think it's going to get there. I don't think it's going to get there. No! Oh, no. Oh, there it goes. It stopped. Bugger! I can't... Oh, we're not even going to make the lap. And, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about that. Because if I try that again, it's just going to blow the engine again. That's a real shame. Damn. But, anyways, there we go. So, I guess, for reference, it's going to be impossible to do it in a 79. Unless we go again, and we just go slower. We might just have to do that. Let's try it again. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try this again. I'm just reversing out of the pits at the moment. And we're going to try this a second time. But basically, I'm just going to have to massively back off the pace. We're going to start this lap at 90 degrees of oil temperature. 91 already. But we're going to severely lift off. Basically, if it gets to 150 degrees or more, then we're in serious trouble of blowing the engine. That's what we got to look out for. It's going to be 95 degrees of temperature across the line, but we're going to try this again. Hopefully we're not going to get any X's either. Down into turn 1, lifting off the power a bit, and this whole second episode has just turned into how quickly can we go in reverse, more to can we go in reverse without blowing the motor. But out of turn 1 and 2 we go for the second time. Huge lift off of the throttle to just try and cool down this engine. I don't want to be anywhere near 150 because that is blowing points. Down towards the chicane, 50 kilometers an hour. Try and cover minimum distance so we can finish this lap as quickly as possible without also revving up the engine. We're up to 110 degrees now on the oil, and yeah, it's just gonna keep going up and up and up as through there. What I'm actually gonna do, oh no, I can't. Oh, there we go. Yes, perfect. Oh, we got a loss of control. Okay, so if I put it in neutral, I get a loss of control, but I have put it in neutral. Then we're gonna put it back in reverse. That is saving the temperature a little bit, just a little bit. But we're going to try that again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to accelerate up to 80 and then put it in neutral. That's what I'm going to do. Every time I put it in neutral, though, I get a loss of control, which is interesting. But we're basically going to coast the whole way down this straight. Oil temp is at 111 degrees, but we're not doing too badly here. Backwards down one of the back straights. There's two back straights on this track, really. We got this one, and then we got the straight where we conked out on the last lap. 51 kilometers as we head up towards the chicane. Gonna pop it back down into reverse so we can accelerate again. But getting it turned in for the chicane, over the curb. That is a proper line through there. And then up to 85 kilometers an hour, back into neutral as we head under the something banner. It's backwards, so I can't read it. The Octane Racing banner. Oh, don't get anywhere near the grass, not glass, the grass, as we head up towards the hairpin. Not too bad. And then, can I pop it back in neutral? I can. Let's pop it back in neutral for the hairpin. And then, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Up to the hairpin we go. Go to the right, getting it turned in. Absolutely perfect line. And then shifting it down into reverse. So we can just put the power down and then straight into neutral again. And we're just going to coast down this entire straight as we head up to the Wall of Champions chicane. Obviously named so because a lot of champions crashed there. We're going to try and not crash there. But as we head down the back straight, under the Bovada and the GoDaddy signs, how fast are we going? 55 kilometers an hour. We're going to pop it back in neutral. And we're going to accelerate back up to 85 kilometers an hour. As down the back straight, it's taking us absolute centuries to get down to the back, to the final corner. Of it only going 65 kilometers an hour. Gonna shift back down into reverse. I can only do that if I'm going below 55 kilometers an hour. There we go, back up to 85. And there is the pit lane entry, so we're going to stay to the right of that. Get it turned in for the Wall of Champions chicane. Absolutely perfect through there. And then pop it back in reverse. And up to the line. We're just going to floor it now, because no matter what, we're going to make it. 85 kilometers an hour, 86 kilometers an hour. As we head up to the line. What's the time going to be? Is it going to be anything? Or am I going to have to measure it later? But across the line, it is going to be a something or other. Not sure. It's going to be one I'm going to have to measure later because of the loss of controls. But there we go. That has been a backwards lap of Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to blow the engine on the first time round. It's kind of funny that we did do that. Yeah, but there we have it. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I'm going to leave what the time was up on the screen right now because I'm going to have to go back and time it because it didn't work because of the loss of controls. But hopefully you all enjoyed. As always, stay safe, make awesome choices, and I'm going to see you all in the next YouTube video. So take care, everybody.